you doing here?
Vettel definitely wasn't the calmest.
Oh, honestly, what are these guys thinking?
So let's take a look at his best, worst rage moments.
Sake. He's a... That's what he is.
Going one level up each time.
I'm going home. You.
Think you've seen them all? To be honest, I strongly doubt it, but let's see. To start off, let's go back to the 2019 Brazilian GP. This was Leclerc's first year at Ferrari, and honestly, he surprised us all by matching Vettel's level.
Look how Leclerc is gaining on Vettel, passing Vettel, into the lead goes Charles Leclerc.
He was consistently challenging him and even beating him, while Leclerc snagged wins in Spa and Monza.
Charles Leclerc has coped brilliantly. He won in Spa, he wins in Monza.
Vettel got his in Singapore.
Sebastian Vettel takes the checkered flag and wins the Singapore Grand Prix.
Which was kind of weird, since all three races Ferrari won that year were back-to-back. Anyway, the two ended up battling it out on track a lot that year, and instead of just fighting for position, it felt more like they were both gunning for the team leader spot. But all of that was nothing compared to what went down in Interlagos. Vettel started in second, while Leclerc, who got hit with a penalty for changing his engine, was starting from 14th.
And it's lights out and away we go, and Sebastian Vettel did get a better start, but it's a short run down to the line and Verstappen covers him off.
Even though they started so far apart, the two of them ended up right on top of each other during the last laps, with Seb in 4th and Leclerc in 5th. Without a second thought, the Monegasque went for it in the first corner.
He just wants to get past his teammates, which he does. Charles Leclerc down the inside of Sebastian Vettel, and he moves himself up into 4th place.
But Vettel wasn't going to give up that easily and used his DRS.
Can he now fight back? Leclerc made it very tough earlier. Oh no, he's got a puncture. They made contact, and Charles Leclerc's got a puncture caused by contact with his teammate Sebastian Vettel. Oh, and Vettel's got problems too. And that is a Ferrari collision.
Shit, that's the last thing you want to see as a race engineer. And of course, Vettel jumped in on the radio right away.
Puncture, what the hell is he doing? Sorry, puncture.
And you know it's bad when he starts swearing in German. Neither Vettel nor Leclerc could keep going.
What the hell?
And the German just couldn't hide his frustration after hopping out of the car. Whose fault was it? Hard to say, honestly. Of course, crashing into your teammate is never good, but can happen, right? However, what went down at the 2017 Azerbaijan GP? Where do I even begin? On a tight circuit like Baku, anything can happen. We all know that. Vettel was starting 4th, but very quickly got up to 2nd.
Contact there, Kimi Räikkönen has had contact.
Right behind Lulu. At the end of lap 12,
the safety car is coming out, and that might just now see a lot of activity in the pit lane as well.
Bunching up all drivers.
The safety car needs to speed up because this is too slow.
And to add some irony, just a couple of laps later, when the safety car was about to come in, Hamilton did exactly what he was complaining about.
Lewis is backing up the pack a little bit. Oh, he went into him.
Caught Vettel off guard. And his reaction, well...
Ray, he brake tested me. What the f*** going on?
Vettel literally just came alongside me and turned in and hit me.
What the f***? We've seen drivers complaining and insulting each other, but crashing into one another on purpose. That's next level. With emotions running high, they still had to restart the race. But of course, that move wasn't going to slide, and Seb got a 10-second stop-and-go penalty for dangerous driving. The race was complete chaos, and neither of them made it to the podium.
Okay, Lewis, looks like headrest is just a little bit loose at the back. Just see if you can pull it into position on the straight.
But have I had a technical flag yet?
So we've been instructed we have to pit this lap.
When did I do dangerous driving then?
We speak after now, keep your head down and mode box.
This is all anyone could talk about after the race. Hamilton, of course, wasn't happy at all.
All the young kids that are watching us Formula 1 drivers drive and conduct ourselves, they've seen today how a four-time world champion behaves, and I think hopefully that doesn't ripple into the younger categories. In terms of how things are penalised, how you can do something like that and then still finish 4th, I think it's I don't know.
And Vettel wasn't backing down.
I don't agree with the penalty that I got, because if you penalize us, or if you penalize me, then you should penalize both of us, because it was not the way to do it.
But later on at the next GP, with some hindsight, Seb admitted he messed up and apologized.
Well, it was the wrong move, wrong decision. It was the wrong move to drive alongside him and hit his tire. So yeah, am I proud of the moment? No. Can I take it back? No. Do I regret it? Yes. So I don't think that we need to drag it out any longer.
Crashing into a rival on purpose is already nuts, right? But going against the FIA and calling them out in front of everyone? Well, believe it or not, Seb did it. The weekend kicked off perfectly for Vettel, snagging pole and keeping the Mercedes at bay during the first few laps. But Hamilton was right on his tail, and he was fast. But then, on lap 48...
Oh, he's gone wide! DRS, copy.
Sebastian Vettel goes wide and Lewis Hamilton thought there was a gap.
Wow, Vettel miraculously saved the mistake and Hamilton nearly hit him from behind. But hey, at least he held on to the lead. The joy didn't last long.
Sebastian Vettel has been given a 5-second time penalty for an unsafe re-entry and forcing another driver off the track.
And like usual, Seb didn't waste any time throwing shade at the FIA.
You know, you go through the grass and you come back, you have an amazing grip. Where the hell was I supposed to go? I had grass on my wheels. This posing me decides to go that way. If he got to the inside, he got past me.
Okay, stay focused. Copy that. Stay focused.
I am focused, but they're stealing the race from us.
Honestly, it was a pretty controversial decision, to say the least. It was the usual post-race debating. One side saying he merged dangerously, driving into Hamilton to not let him get by, while others said he literally had no choice. What do you think? In the end,
Sebastian Vettel takes the checkered flag, but Lewis Hamilton wins the Canadian Grand Prix.
Vettel crossed the line first, with Hamilton just 1.3 seconds behind. So, of course, it was Lewis taking the win. But we're talking about Seb here. I remember waiting to hear his comment.
No, guys. No. Not like that. Not like that. No. Seriously, you need to be an absolute blind man to think that you can go through the grass and then control your car. I was lucky that I didn't hit the wall. Where the hell I am supposed to go? This is a wrong world. Tell you, this is not fair. Great crowd, great race, ragazzi, grazie. Grazie, ragazzi.
And in full frustration and anger, he ended up giving us one of the most iconic moments ever.
If he didn't make the podium, he would get an extra penalty for it, which is why Ferrari have told him you've got to go to the podium. Listen to that cheer from the crowd here for Sebastian Vettel. Teddy, are you down there?
I'm right next to him, Simon. He's getting it absolutely every person in the house, whether they're a Mercedes fan or a Ferrari fan. If it was up to him, there's no way he'd be on this podium.
Ted, you can't see this, I don't think, but Sebastian Vettel taking the number 2 from where his car should be, putting it in front of Lewis Hamilton's car, and then putting the number 1 in the blank space where his car should be.
Simply legendary.
The people shouldn't boo at Lewis because, I think he saw what was going on, and I don't think there was any intention to, be in his harm's way. I had trouble to stay on track, but the people shouldn't boo at Lewis. I think if anything, they should boo at these funny decisions.
So you made an error, Seb, and you couldn't collect the car back up. I think he's had enough of that one.
Yet, it's pretty much nothing compared to what happened at the start of 2016. Man, that season, there was one driver making Seb absolutely crazy. The Russian driver had replaced Vettel at Red Bull the year before, but his actions were closely watched by Helmut Marko, as a certain Max Verstappen was killing it in his Toro Rosso. And instead of proving to the world why he deserved his Red Bull, it seemed like the Russian driver was asking to get fired. Remember the Chinese GP that year? Ferrari's locking down the second row and Kvyat right behind in 6th. As soon as the lights went out, things got messy.
And it's lights out, and away we go. Tag there, as Bottas has to go wide, and Kvyat slips in on the inside of the 2 Ferraris have crashed.
What the f*** was Seb doing? It looked like he drove straight into Kimi, but there was a reason for that. Kvyat. Yeah, Kvyat basically went from 6th to 3rd in one corner, but honestly, if I didn't brake, I'd probably do the same thing.
Yeah, I made contact. I had no chance to avoid. I had the Red Bull coming on the inside like a madman, and I hit Kimi.
The German dropped to 9th place and slowly started making his way back, putting on a beautiful performance, and on lap 37, he got his revenge.
The battle for third place now on the soft tyre. There goes Sebastian Vettel, and he has taken Danny Kvyat, but Kvyat might just come back down the inside. Vettel cuts him off.
In the end, Vettel finished second with Kvyat right behind him, which, to be honest, was a good result for both. And on the podium, Kvyat asked Vettel what happened on the first corner. Yeah, Kvyat asking what happened in the first corner. And understandably, Vettel couldn't keep it in.
You asking what happened at the start. If I don't go to the left, you crash into us and we all three go out.
Well, I was.
No, not well. You came like a torpedo.
Well, it's racing.
I'm racing, but you know, if I keep going the same line, you'll crash.
Don't keep going.
Yeah, but there was a car on the left also.
Well,
that's why I hit the other
I can see all the three cars, man. Go on. I have only two eyes.
Well, you need
two
to
cars.
You will crash if you do like that.
But we didn't. So.
Yeah, you didn't.
No words on that. I doubt Kvyat would have been so cocky if he knew what was coming next. In the next race in Sochi, the Russian made sure to live up to the new name Vettel had just given him.
From Russia, Danny, the Torpedo Kvyat!
Torpedoing against him again.
Raikkonen takes second place, and there's contact in the back.
Hitting him not once, but twice.
Forwards, and there's a spin. There is a spinning Ferrari of Sebastian Vettel, and he is out at the first corner and the first braking zone of this Russian Grand Prix, and he throws his hands up in the air and thinks, no, not again.
Did that Red Bull have no brakes or what? Vettel just lost it on the radio.
Oh, sake, man. Who the Oh, I'm out. Crash. Somebody hit me in the rear, turn 2, and then somebody hit me in the rear again in turn 3. For sake. Honestly, what the are we doing here? Off, honestly. honestly, what are these guys thinking?
The German was really itching to drive that weekend, and well, I don't think Kvyat was laughing much after that race.
I told him, sorry. I told him the reasons why we are changing, and that's still not over with his Formula 1 career. It's the category where the best only can succeed. Any of our young drivers must be capable of winning a Grand Prix. That's our goal. And if you see that there's no chance to achieve that, then we are reacting.
Teammates, rivals, FIA decisions, they all felt Vettel's wrath. But what if I told you that the FIA president personally got a taste, and with a rare level of fury from Mr. V? Throwback to Mexico 2016. Well, that day Seb basically got mad at everyone. It was the final laps of the race, and as usual, the two Mercedes were about to get another 1-2 finish. Behind them, Verstappen was in third, but Vettel right on his tail, so close that, well, on lap 68, this happened.
And that is Sebastian Vettel, and that is a big lock-up from Max Verstappen, and he goes wide, and Sebastian Vettel, as Verstappen goes onto the grass, might be able to come and take the remaining podium place here. Verstappen rejoins the track, still ahead of the Ferrari. Should he give that place back or not? He outbraked himself. He's now looking to defend from Sebastian Vettel. This time, no lock-up on the brakes.
Verstappen cut across like 3 corners, so of course Horner jumped on the radio right away.
Okay, give the position. I think you're going to have to give the position back, Max.
And honestly, I don't know why, but Max completely ignored him. And that's when Seb lost it.
He has to let me go. He has to let me go.
Okay, copy, stay calm.
And it just kept getting worse.
For f***'s sake. He's a that's what he is. I mean, am I the only one? Or are you not seeing what I'm seeing? He's just backing me off into Ricciardo.
Indeed, Ricciardo used all the drama to try and make a move on Vettel, but it didn't quite go as planned.
And he's not just backing him off, Ricciardo's having a go down the inside, and somehow Sebastian Vettel and Daniel Ricciardo don't come together. Ricciardo giving it absolutely everything in his bid to get past Sebastian Vettel here. Whilst Vettel complains on the radio, Ricciardo is trying to pick up the scraps, and Verstappen still in third place.
Huge mistake by Ricciardo locking up all 4 wheels? Well, it was more on Vettel for moving under braking, but by then, the German had truly lost it. In the end, Max snagged third, with Vettel in 4th and Ricciardo in 5th. All that drama for nothing, huh? Well, Vettel had one more thing to say.
Yeah, you know what? Here's the message for Charlie. Off, honestly. Off.
Even Ferrari's boss at the time, Arrivabene, had to step in and calm him down.
Sebastian, calm down. Calm down. They are under investigation. I know that is not fair, but calm down. Put your head down, and we talk afterward.
And of course, Seb didn't forget about Max after crossing the finish line. But right before the podium ceremony, it was announced that Max got a 5-second penalty, so Vettel would be replacing him. Meanwhile, Red Bull was working behind the scenes, with their drivers adding fuel to the fire.
Yeah, ridiculous. I mean, everybody, or like especially in lap 1, turn 1, you know, the first two go off. As long as they don't get a penalty, you know, that's fine for me. Okay, we race, but then why they penalize me at the end of the race? I think that's, you know, very unfair.
Sebastian Vettel came after you pretty hard on the racetrack on the cool-down lap.
Even that, you know, he's just a very frustrated guy. First of all, you know, he's shouting on the radio like a child. It is just like a child. And then, you know, after the start finish to do things like that, you know, it's even more
Vettel,
childish.
I had a word with him at the end because I saw he was covering, then before braking he moved. I saw the gap, I went for it. The track sort of opens up a little bit, so I committed to it, and then he's moved again. And the apex of that corner is so tight, and we slid into each other. But that's the moving under braking, which we're talking about the last few races, and everyone's complaining that Max is doing it, and Seb did it with me today.
With all that and the message he sent to FIA chief Charlie Whiting, there was no way out. Vettel popped the champagne for 3rd place, but just when it seemed all wrapped up, he got hit with a 10-second penalty. That bumped Ricciardo up to 3rd and left Verstappen in 4th. Totally surreal. And of course, Vettel's had plenty of times where he's lost it, but nothing compares to the 2010 Turkish GP, where, well, I don't think I've ever seen a driver as pissed off as that before. I don't know if you can remember, but F1 raced in Istanbul from 2005 to 2011, and because of the COVID calendar changes, it came back in 2020 and 2021. It's actually a shame it's not on the calendar anymore. The memories, such an epic track. Let's zoom into Turkey 2010. To give you some context on the rage, that year was simply insane. The grid was super competitive. McLaren, Red Bull, and Alonso's Ferrari, he was pretty much carrying the team himself, were locked in a battle for the title. Honestly, the biggest surprise was Red Bull. I mean, we see them as one of the best teams now, but back then, they had just started getting competitive, and the rivalry between Webber and Vettel was kicking off. In fact, the battle between them was so intense that they rolled into Istanbul tied for the championship lead with 78 points each. Crazy, right? Vettel had snagged the win in Malaysia, but Webber was on fire, winning in Spain and Monaco, going for his 3rd win in a row. The Aussie kept his good vibes going in qualifying and grabbed his 3rd pole in a row, while Vettel could only manage 3rd right behind Hamilton. But it was on Sunday that things got really interesting. As the lights go out, Webber manages to keep his lead, but Hamilton and Vettel are right on his tail, sticking close lap after lap. And the thing is, as they were so fucking close, both the Brit and the German could save fuel by using the slipstream. So Vettel was the first to pit on lap 14, trying to pull an undercut on Hamilton, who, along with Webber, responded a lap later. And guess what? This strategy worked out perfectly for Red Bull. Webber held on to the lead, and Vettel managed to get past Hamilton, locking in that 1-2 perfect. Right? Well, not so fast. Webber was told to slow down to save fuel and make it to the end of the race. With that, plus some traffic and a bit of rain, Vettel was right on his tail by lap 40. And I truly mean right on his tail. The German nailed corner 8 and a better exit out of corner 10, with both going side by side like they weren't even teammates. And, well,
Webber's left the door wide open.
Oh dear, they've come together! Webber and Vettel have come together. That's Vettel going out, Webber going out. What was going on there? Well, it's Webber still in the lead, or still in the race rather, but Sebastian Vettel's gone out. Now, what happened there?
No fucking way. Well, Webber, I don't even know how, managed to keep going. Vettel, man, I don't think I've ever seen a driver so mad.
What the are we doing here? What a stupid action! I'm going home, you.
Yeah, he was heading straight home. His car was done. Even after getting out, he was fuming and kept taking shots at Webber. The Aussie managed to finish 3rd, behind both McLarens, which put him in the lead for the title. And remember when I said the championship was very, very close that year? Vettel, not scoring any points, dropped to 5th place. Just insane. After the race, Helmut Marko didn't really know how to explain what had just happened.
So to your mind, it's certainly Mark's fault?
Unnecessary, the whole situation.
Even the GOATs can put rivals, teammates, and even the FIA on edge, but the ones that really give them headaches are the surreal drivers like this man right here. You'll see what I mean in that video. And as always, thank you for watching.